Hi there, welcome back. Today we will take a quick look at the user interface of DaVinci Resolve 17. Like many other computer programs, it has a main menu bar at the top, where you can find the commands to various functions and utilities. In the Help submenu, there are links to the reference manual, online training pages and other documentation, which is very handy and helpful. At the very bottom, it's the page navigation bar, with 7 buttons in the middle corresponding to the 7 pages of functionality. From left to right, they are organized in the order of the typical post-production workflow, letting you quickly switch between different pages, from media management, quick cut, edit, fusion compositing, color grading, audio mixing, to the final project delivery page. There are 2 more buttons on the right side of the page bar. Clicking the Home button will open the Project Manager, and the Gear button takes you to the Project Settings window. We will talk more about project settings in another video. To create more room for the main workspace, you can right-click and choose Show Icons Only. Or you can hide the page bar altogether from the Workspace menu, uncheck Show Page Navigation. But I found that's inconvenient since I need to switch pages often. To get the most out of your display, you can put DaVinci Resolve into full screen mode by checking the Full Screen window in the Workspace submenu, which removes the title bar and uses the full dimension of your display. Now let's go to the middle of the interface, which is the main workspace for each functional page. A page consists of multiple panels. You can show or hide different panels using the buttons in the interface toolbar at the top. If a panel is currently shown in the interface, the corresponding button is highlighted bright white. The DaVinci Resolve interface may not seem as flexible or customizable as some other video editors. There are still many ways of adjusting the panels within each page to meet your needs. You can resize panels by dragging the border between any 2 panels to enlarge one and shrink the other. At the top of each panel, you may find some buttons and a 3-dot option menu that allow you to adjust the views or perform actions related to the panel. With this arrow button at both sides of the interface toolbar, you can shrink the current side panel to half height of the display, or expand to full height size. When you click an item in a panel, the panel gets the focus and becomes active. To see which panel is in focus, open the Preferences window. Go to the UI settings in the User tab, make sure those Show Focus Indicators in the User Interface checkbox is checked. You should see a red line at the top of the panel, marking the panel is in focus. Now let's quickly go through each of these pages, so that you have an idea of what you can do with them. The Media page is the interface for media management, importing and organizing clips. There are 3 panels most used in this page. The Media Storage browser is similar to the System File Explorer, which shows a list of drives and folders on the left, and media files on the right. This button lets you show or hide the left sidebar. Below the folder list is the Favorites, where you can add the often used folders. Right-click a folder, and select Add Folder to Favorites. To remove a folder, right-click and choose Remove Folder from Favorites. You can select a file in the browser and load the content into the viewer. Like many other media players, click the Play button, or simply press Space Bar to play the media. The viewer also has a full screen mode called Cinema Viewer. Press Ctrl F or choose the Cinema Viewer. From the Workspace menu can toggle the full screen mode on and off. Or simply press Escape key to exit the Cinema Viewer. The browser also allows you to hover scrub a thumbnail and show the content in the viewer temporarily. The Media Pool is the panel that appears in all pages except the Deliver page. It contains all media files imported and generated in the current project. It has a similar layout and behavior as the Media Storage browser. Instead of system drives and folders, it shows structured bins in the left navigation bar. When you click to select a clip in the media pool, it will show in the viewer above. To add media files to the project, you can drag files or folders from the browser panel into the media pool, or directly drag files from the System File Explorer. The Cut page is designed for fast editing with simplified layout and tools that are easy to use. The default interface has the media pool, a viewer, and a timeline area. It reminds me of the interface in one of the video editors I used in the past. Click this Tools button below the viewer will show a toolbar with buttons that you can use to edit the clip effects without the need of inspector. You can also export the result using this quick export function without leaving the Cut page. The Edit page is the main page where you import, edit, and trim timelines. By default, you see 3 panels in the page: the media pool, the viewers, and the timeline at the bottom. The media pool is the same one as you see in the other pages. You can also import media files into the media pool by drag and drop files from System File Explorer, as in the media page. The viewer panel has one source viewer on the left and a timeline viewer on the right, which allows you to view clips from the media pool in the source viewer, while showing the timeline content in the timeline viewer. If you want, you can switch between dual viewer and single viewer mode by simply clicking this icon at the top. The timeline is the main workplace where you manage and edit a sequence of clips. Even though you can only open one timeline at a time, you can enable the Stack Timelines option to show multiple timeline tabs at the top for easy switching between timelines. There are 2 other panels you cannot live without in the Edit page. One is the Effects library. It contains transitions, titles, and effects you can apply to timelines. If the media pool is not needed, you can hide the media pool to give room to the Effects panel, or shrink the panel so it takes up only half of display height. Another one is the Inspector, which is hidden by default. You can show it through the button in the Interface toolbar. The Inspector is the central place where you adjust the clip settings and parameters of all effects used in the timeline. If you want to see more controls, you can expand the panel to the full height of the display. The Fusion page is designed for 2D and 3D visual effects compositing. The Color page provides all the tools you need for color grading or correction. And the Fairlight page is the advanced audio interface for audio recording and mixing. I will cover these pages in detail in future videos. Once you are done with the project editing and grading, you can export the result in the Deliver page. In the Render Settings panel, configure the render settings and click the Add to Render Queue button. A job is added to the render queue on the right side. Click Render All to start rendering. When the rendering is complete, right-click the job. You can now open the file location in a System File Explorer window, or reveal the output in the media page. Alright, that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.